wait till the camera locks onto its focus. There it is, locked onto its focus now, so there's the rust on the face. Still not a bad face, I'll do somebody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to touch it now and see if it's actually surface or corroded in, but I bet you it's corroded in. Okay, Swampy's original perspex, which we're keeping, just to show you the condition. Okay, so what's a clean up? A very light buff with some very light polish. Alright, we're taking that away now. Some warm soapy water in the sink. We'll bring it back to you in a minute, see what you think of it. Think, sink, see what you think. Okay, over and out. Short little clip there. Alright, you've joined us with all the different bits and clocks I've been accumulating and building. I've changed my mind. I'm making the discs with new sellotape on so they don't look crinkly anymore. I'm going to fix those. Any discs that have got dodgy tape on the back, like this, you see that bubbled up tape, we'll get some mild solvent on there, we'll take that off and retake them up. I've decided, changing my mind on the crinkle effect. Now I've got the Swampy's original timepiece, the GXL clock, little screw under your sticker there, under your guarantee, under the K, and that gets your clock mechanism out. This one doesn't power up. It's Swampy's original. I have got a worker which we previously calibrated on the other video. There she is. Pure as a driven snow. A nice new working unit. So I can just put that onto the face if I want. But I thought I'd just have a little see why it doesn't power up. And I'm going to suspect these contacts here, which is why they fail. If you've got a clock that doesn't work, take it out like that. 3 bolts on the back, clip your, very gently pull the second hand off, just pull it out of the shaft, finger and thumb, and then again carefully get your hours and minute hands out, they just come off. And then look at these contacts there, you're right up to this, you're going to see a set of contacts, electrical contacts. It's an electromechanical clock. It uses a little set of, the current goes through these contacts just underneath that, those what look like 3 washers welded together just there. We've got a set of contacts here, and I think they burn out. I'm going to just prise them apart and have a look. You can see it, there they are. That's that wheel that slowly, when it's ticking, that wheel comes round, and as it loses its wind up, it closes those gaps and then recharges the solenoid. That's actually now ticking as I've just charged that up. You can actually hear it ticking. So, there's our solenoids, actuator. There, that pulls down. That would give you a charge. So we're going to put some power on it now and see what we get. Right, I've spotted the fault. It's, I don't know how close the camera's going to get, but if you can see this, there's a little tag there. It's broke off the end of the solenoid, just a tiny little. It should be soldered on the end, and it looks like the solder's given up and it's fallen back. It's the power to feed the codex, it's pinged off. How close can you get? Can you see what I mean? Look, just that little electrical connector that should be on the top of the coil there, that completes the circuit to the coil, that should be soldered on to that. And it's flicked off. I just compared it with this one and this one showed it connected, so that's why I spotted it. So if I get the iron now, we'll fix Swampy's original timepiece. I'll be happy that it's got its original clock in it. Just the more parts that go in it, the better. So we're going to fix the clock. We'll keep that calibrated one for a spare, Could put it in my green car, that one, because the green car's losing time. So, and then here's a new speedo face, which someone's pulled the front off it. That was like it when I got it. That face is good. So we're going to pop these, we're going to drill out those rivets and then solder them back on. I'm hoping that's going to work. Won't be able to salvage them. Once I drill them, that's it, they're gone. So I'll attach the face with some, well, I could use actually small bolts that I could salvage out of another instrument, something with a nut on the end. So we'll see how that looks. I might be able to salvage that. And then we'll be doing the clock face. I've got two here. Looks like that's the better one. Even that's lightly pitted, but it's not bad. So yeah, there's a couple of options. So what all it's about now is just picking the best bits for everything and then getting it all back together again. Okay, so I won't bore you with any more of that stuff until I've soldered this up. Let's see that go click, because it makes like a nice ping sound, or a clunk sound more accurate. Let's fix Swampy's clock. Okay, soldering iron on now. Right, iron up and ready. Do you want me? I'll see if I can zoom you into this one. Cutting dead on target every time. Right, you're right in with me now. Hello. Right, so. Right, I've got you right into the action there. So this is what was wrong with Swampy's clock. If you look at those two connectors there, they're supposed to be soldered together. What's happened is the blob of solder's broken down over time and separated itself. And that's what you're looking at there, is the connection to the little relay or coil solenoid that activates the spring that winds the clock up. So what happens is, as the clock unwinds, there's two contacts, sorry, shouldn't put my hand in the front, two contacts come together like this. See, basically what you've got is these two contacts. If this my screwdriver knife there with the contacts, the clock starts to unwind and they get closer together, then they touch. When they touch, it supplies electric 12 volts to the solenoid, which then pulls them with an arm. And the arm it's the arm that winds the clock mechanism. Well, the coil wire has broken apart, and that's why Swampy's clock did not charge itself. Could have been like that for years, even when the owner had it. I just attempted this with an iron that was too big. I'm now on a little 12 volt, Atlantex 12 volts, which gives me a better manoeuvrability there. It was just too big and bulky. I was using an 80 watt iron, and it's just, you can't do stuff like that. Just I'm so used to having that iron out. It's a while since I've a couple of years since I've been on to any small stuff. So I'm just cleaning the tip. I'm going in now. I'm going to try and work out a way of joining these together. It's delicate, but see how it's got it there. I don't know if Ray and George would agree with me on this, but I think that's got it. Right, so that's this. Let's get 12 volts to it now and see if it powers up. It should make a clicking sound. Let's see. It should be ticking away. Power supply on. Right, I'll zoom you back out.
Maybe you can find a censored version. It's a spooky tale. It's like something out of the
Out you go. Right, 12 volts.
Girl goes to a party. Party turns nasty. Very nasty.
It's not polarity conscious. It doesn't matter. You can basically put them any way around. So, right, we're powering there. Power onto the earth. And away she goes. Your fingers were in the way, but she's gone. She's ticking. Right, that's now ticking. I'll show you what we need. I'm just going to turn the radio down. Okay, offering it up to you. I'm hoping you can hear it ticking. Right, and now for a zoom in of the wheel. Here we go. Get ready for the zoom. you see. Soldering that up has now made it, has charged the spring. And Swampy's ticking again. Right, penetrating spray. 3-in-1 very light oil, and then compressed air gently to blast any excessive oil off, so it leaves a thin coating. I'm hoping that might have freed it up, so I'm going to fire it again. 12 volts on, see if it kicks in this time. It kicks the coil round, but then it's been freezing. Let's see if it gets going. That's it. It's ticking. We're away. So it was just corroded, basically just through the process of standing for so long. So some very light oil penetrating spray on it, then gently with compressed air to blow the excess oil off, just leaving a slight film of oil. I don't really think that the oil should be put on in large amounts. I think really what you need to be doing is knowing the areas to oil. A clockmaker would know that, because dust can stick to oil, unfortunately, but it's a closed container within the dash. It should be okay. So it looks like Swampy's clock is in business. Away he goes. Let's wait till it runs out of steam, and then I shall show you. I'll do your time lapse to show you the contacts closing. Hold on, I'll speed it up for you. So this film will now speed up, and you'll see the two contacts close together. In fact, actually, you can probably wait. See them going there? And that's the contacts that make that click sound. Well, not the contacts that make it, but the contacts that fire the solenoid that makes the click sound. So that's what's happening in your clock. I think it's a nice piece of kit. I love the sound that it makes. It's part of the car, you know. You should always try and get your clock fixed if you can. So that's it. They're closed, and then the clock then runs down. You'll see that sprint, that wheel there, side seat's just stopped now. So I go in now with my wires. Get the 12 volts on. This should kick it up, and away she goes. So that clock's fixed. So I'll put it all back together. Swampy's original workings are there. Not there's a lot of difference. No one will ever know except me, you know, that you've got those two. But I know that I've done it, and I'm happy about that. You know, I've fixed Swampy's actual clock. So to me that makes a difference. So that's a whole video dedicated just to the clock operation. I hope it's enlightened you. Now we'll switch back to refurbing. What we're going to do now is get that needle and second hand and dip it in some paint that I've got here. Fast dry Podrick enamel, the plastic coat. Hang on, I've not zoomed you out. I'll zoom you out. Yeah, so we've got some fast dry product enamel. I'm going to just dip the end of the second hand into that. Can pick another second hand if we want. Then we're going to put a new black blob of black paint in the middle using the cotton bud, so that second hand then is perfect. And we'll let that dry. So we'll dip it first. We can pick this one, that's quite level. In fact, I think, no, Swampy's hand is actually on the Swampy's clock. I'm going to use Swampy's hand as soon as it's stopped ticking. It's coming up now to stop ticking. And some dust on the end of the clock hand there. It's probably a bit harsh, that. Right, that's that done. Oh, off that goes.